Hello, I'm Elif and this is a recap for episode 115 of the series For My Family, 24 hours after Turkey and before dubbed for TV. The police take Aybiku away despite her tears and her family's pleas because the landlady has filed a complaint. When Asiye sees that the landlady is not relenting, she decides that Aybiku needs legal representation. She contacts Ayaz, who knows the landlady, for help. Ayaz quickly goes to the landlady's house and later tells Asiye that he has obtained her consent. Asiye embraces him happily, and Ayaz smiles. Tolga, after watching Sado's video and realizing that Shaval ordered Ahmed's murder, leaves Shaval's house without saying anything and ponders what the right course of action is. At night, everyone gathers at Orhan's house to brainstorm solutions to their problems. Omar suggests they ask for an extension from the new landlord and rent a small house with his prize money from the Math Olympiad. He also suggests that he and Yuljan temporarily leave school to work full-time to pay off their debts. However, everyone disagrees, and Asiye and Aybiku protest, saying they won't go back to school either, so it's decided they'll draw lots. Omar writes only his and Yuljan's names on the papers, without their knowledge. Ayla returns home angrily after learning Bark sold her car. When she finds out he gave the money to Gökhan to start his own business, she scolds Bark, saying he should have stood up for her. Bark responds, "Didn't you say all my father's wealth is mine?" When Ayla says she's disappointed, Bark retorts, "Are you his mother? He should have taken care of you. He sold you out. You can't love him that much." He tells Gökhan, "I'll figure something better out for you. Don't worry." Akif, happy to be back home, keeps flattering Nabahat, who believes everything he says. Akif takes advantage of the situation and asks Nabahat for the money Gulten wanted under the pretext of a new investment opportunity, and Nabahat agrees. In the morning, the girls go to school reluctantly, and Omar and Yuljan, who found a job through Omar's father's friend, go to work at a construction site. Bark visits Akif and says he wants to start a business for his father. Akif thinks for a moment and then tells him that Yaman wants to sell his shares in the club and informs Nabahat after consulting with her. At the club, Nabahat tells Soraya she doesn't want to see her anymore and expels her since Yaman is not there to support her. Shaval learns about Aybiku's job through her friend, and Sarp hears it from his mother and tells Lydia. Lydia confronts Aybiku loudly about the collar theft, and Aybiku angrily tells her to be quiet. Lydia retorts, "Are you ashamed? A person shouldn't be ashamed of their job." Aybiku attacks her and Sarp, and when Bark arrives to separate them, he learns about the incident and is shocked. Asiye and Aybiku tell their version of the story to their friends, and they are upset to learn that Omar and Yuljan have left school. Akif goes to see Gulten and places the money in front of her. After Gulten deletes the videos, the police arrive and arrest her. Akif watches with a smile as Gulten is taken away. Bark goes to see Orhan and tells him he knows about their problems and offers to lend money to Aybiku so she won't be upset. Orhan responds, "Thank you for thinking of us, but imagine if you didn't tell me. If you ever become a father of a daughter, you'll understand how I feel." While Akif is still secretly meeting with Soraya, he learns that Nabahat has expelled her. He thinks about solving this problem. Tolga goes to Yasmin's house to study, and when he sees Shaval, he becomes angry and believes that Shaval told her that he knows she ordered Ahmed's murder. He leaves the gathering in a bad mood. At night, Tolga goes to see Aybiku and tells her he found something that if he tells anyone, he'll go crazy, and no one besides Aybiku has thought of it. He shows Aybiku the Sado video, and Aybiku is shocked. Tolga, in despair, says he doesn't know what to do. Aybiku takes the flash drive from him and leaves. Aybiku goes to Shaval and tells her she knows everything and that she found out Shaval killed Ahmed. Shaval panics and thinks, then says, "I'll pay off your debt. Your brother and cousin will come back to school. If I go to jail, what will happen? Think about your family." Aybiku looks at her with doubt. The next day, Akif tells Nabahat that they have sold 30% of the company's shares to Bark's father and he is now their partner. Nabahat asks whose remaining 70% of shares belong to, and Akif says the shareholder currently doesn't want their name revealed according to their lawyer. In the morning, Shaval pays off the debts to the Urns and goes to their house with Aybiku and tells Omar, "You didn't take anything from Ahmed's inheritance, but my conscience didn't accept it. When I heard you were in trouble, I wanted to help you. Everyone scolds Ibiku, but she says Cheval approached her, and she didn't want anything. Bark takes Gukhan to a clothing store to buy clothes for him, and when Gukhan asks the reason, Bark says 30% of the club now belongs to him, and he has to go to work. Gukhan hugs Bark happily. At school, the Erns thank Cheval, and when Yasmin and Sarp learn about what their mother did, they are surprised. Cheval, immersed in her role, pretends that she sacrificed herself for the children and helped them. Tolga asks to talk to Ibiku after seeing this scene, and Ibiku tells him she deleted the video. Tolga is shocked. Ibiku asks him to understand and says they were very desperate and couldn't refuse Cheval's offer. When Sarp taunts Omar in class, saying he owes his presence there to him and should respect him, Omar angrily punches Sarp in the mouth. Ibiku says, "You're dying to know why your mom helped us." "Should I tell you?" Everyone looks at Ibiku in surprise, and she remains silent. Gukhan goes to the club, and Akif and Nabahat are surprised to see his strange behavior and boasting. At that moment, Soraya enters and says she's their new partner and has bought half of Yaman's shares. Akif pretends to be surprised but winks at Soraya. When Nabahat is alone with Akif, she tells him that Soraya has returned and she's afraid Akif will betray her again. Akif reassures her and says, "I have a promise for you. I won't make the same mistake again." He then goes to Soraya, who happily asks him where he got the money from. Akif replies, "I got it from Nabahat." Soraya says, "So you made me your partner with Nabahat's money? If she finds out, she'll kill you." Akif says, "See how valuable you are that I took such a risk for you." Sarp sees Ayaz and Asiye together and taunts Ayaz, saying, "Are you still trying? When are you going to tell her?" After Sarp leaves, Asiye tells Ayaz, "As good as you are, your cousin is a real jerk." Ayaz is upset by Asiye's words and says, "Maybe I'm not as good as you think I am." He tells her about his bet with Sarp and then says, "When I got close to you, I realized I couldn't do this wrong to you. Then something happened that I didn't expect. I fell in love with you. I'm sorry for disrespecting you." Asiye is surprised to hear this. Ayla returns home angrily at night and sarcastically congratulates Gukhan on his new job. Then she tells Bark she has decided to leave the house. Gukhan says, "You stay, I'll go. This is your home." Ayla says, "I'd be happy if you got lost right now." Bark scolds his mother for her behavior, but Gukhan says, "It's okay. Mrs. Ayla has the right to be jealous." Ayla leaves the house angrily. Bark wants to follow her, but Gukhan stops him and says she'll come back on her own. Asiye tells Ibiku about Ayaz's words, and Ibiku feels that Asiye also likes her. Asiye denies it, and Ibiku says, "Don't be upset. If you like him, it's okay. You know, one day you'll like someone, and it doesn't mean forgetting the past." Akif goes to Tolga's house to take off his pants, and when he's in the neighborhood, Gulten calls him from prison and says, "Did you think you were very clever? I sent a copy of the video to Omar by post. You're done." Akif's eyes fall on the post van, and he runs after it, but when he arrives, he sees Asiye and Omar have received the package. Thank you for watching, stay tuned for the next episode.